Good evening, dear friend, and welcome to peaceful sleep season. My name is Rain, and I am honored to be the voice you listen to as you go to sleep tonight. This is a gently told story with soothing background music, created to help you relax and drift into a deep, comfortable sleep. And as always, there will be no loud noises and no sudden sounds. After the story ends, the background music and gentle atmosphere may continue for a short while, so they can accompany you a little longer while you sleep. If you want the video to end sooner, you can use YouTube's sleep timer in your settings. And you can also turn off the autoplay feature so your sleep won't be interrupted by unexpected sounds later. And if you have a little free time, please help me subscribe to the channel. That would be a priceless gift to me, really. Thank you, sincerely. Now, relax. Relax your shoulders a little. Relax your arms. Let your body relax into the most comfortable position. And when you're ready, you can close your eyes and start paying attention to your breath. Inhale naturally and exhale slowly. Again, inhale and exhale. Now, pay attention to your whole body, a still form. Relax. Let yourself be lifted. Imagine a warm stream of air flowing over you, like a soft towel, soothing tension without you having to do much. Tonight, just listen and let this gentle story lull you to sleep. You can put aside your thoughts and just follow the story. Let it guide you. Now, it's time to listen to your bedtime story. The first workday after Christmas felt special. Like a warm light from the next room. But the world was beginning to return to its normal rhythm. The wrapping paper had been collected. The dishes had been washed. The last of the cozy leftovers had been put away in the refrigerator. And outside, the winter air was crisp and quiet, as if the whole city had breathed a sigh of relief and was now ready to start again. Tonight, our story takes place in a city in the United States, a city that understands winter, a city of steady lights and firm hands. Tonight, we go to Chicago. In the hours before dawn, Chicago moves differently. The streets are quieter. Traffic is sparser. The sounds are softer, covered by the cold air, and in some places, a thin layer of snow. Christmas lights still linger in the windows. A few wreaths still hang on the doors, and somewhere, behind the warm curtains, someone is sleeping a little more soundly. because they don't need to go anywhere yet. But others have woken up, not in a hurry, not noisy, just waking up and carefully doing their work so that the morning can come smoothly for everyone else. The first person to wake up tonight is a baker named Nora. Nora is about 40 years old. Her gaze is steady, and she observes quietly, as bakers often do. Her day begins while most people are still fast asleep. And after Christmas, she returns to work with a calm and determined, a kind of determination that needs no praise. Nora lives in a small apartment above the small bakery where she works. When the alarm clock rings, it's not jarring. It's a gentle sound, more like a reminder than a command. She slowly sits up. Her feet touch the floor, and she pauses for a moment, listening. The building is quiet. The city is quiet. And outside the window, the streetlights make the falling snowflakes look like tiny sparks. Nora goes to the sink and washes her hands with warm water. It's a small ritual, and she likes it. Warm water. Clean hands. A beginning. She ties her apron, smooths it out once, then goes down to the bakery. The air down there is initially cooler, like a room where no one has ever spoken. Nora switches on a light. The warm, soft light spreads across the counter like honey. Then she started the oven. There's something comforting about an oven warming up. Not dramatic, just steady, reliable. She opens a flour bin and scoops with practiced hands. Flour drifts into the mixing bowl like quiet winter dust. Nora measures salt. She measures yeast. She pours water carefully and watches it disappear into the pale powder. When the mixer begins to turn, it makes a low, gentle sound, like a distant hum. Nora watches the dough come together, and she feels her mind do something familiar. It quiets, because there is nothing to solve right now. There is only the rhythm of work, the comfort of repetition, the simple satisfaction of making something warm for other people. Tonight, she's making a batch of cinnamon rolls. Not because it's a holiday, not because anyone asked her to. Because the day after Christmas can feel a little bare, and a cinnamon roll can be a gentle way of saying, there's still sweetness here. She rolls the dough out carefully, spreads butter, sprinkles cinnamon and brown sugar, then rolls it up into a soft spiral. Her hands are confident. Her movements are unhurried. She cuts the roll into neat pieces, sets them into a pan, and covers them with a towel so they can rise. Then she turns to the front window. Outside, snow is falling in a patient way. Streetlights glow softly, and Nora thinks, without forcing it, that there's something kind about a city that can still be beautiful, even on a regular workday. Not far away, another person is awake for a different kind of work. His name is Caleb. Caleb is a train operator. He's in his late 40s, broad-shouldered, calm, and the kind of person who doesn't speak much unless he needs to. Caleb has worked early mornings for years. He likes the quiet. He likes the steady responsibility. He likes knowing that people can count on him, even if they'll never know his name. On the day after Christmas, the trains carry a particular mix of passengers. People returning to work. People heading to the airport with bags that look a little heavier. People with gift bags still tucked beside their feet. And some still carrying a little softness in their faces, as if the holiday rest hasn't fully left their bodies yet. Caleb arrives early, as he always does. He checks his equipment with careful hands. He looks over the controls. He makes sure everything is ready. There's something soothing about how methodical the work is. Check. Confirm. Prepare. When the train begins to move, it does so smoothly, like a long breath. The city outside the windows looks muted and soft, lit by scattered lamps and the faint glow of storefronts preparing to open. And as the train glides forward, Caleb feels that quiet satisfaction again. He is part of the city's gentle return to routine. Not flashy, not loud, just essential. The third person awake tonight is Elise. Elise works overnight at a hospital as a unit clerk. She's in her 50s, warm-faced, with calm hands and an attentive gaze. On Christmas Day, Elise worked. Not because she wanted to miss the holiday, but because someone has to keep the lights on in places like this. And tonight, the night after Christmas, she's back again. She arrives with a scarf wrapped snugly around her neck and a tote bag that holds a thermos of tea and a small container of leftover homemade soup. The hospital is quiet in a particular way. Not silent, because machines hum and nurses move and doors open and close gently. But quiet in the sense that everyone is careful. Elise sits at the desk and logs in. She checks the schedule. She checks messages. She answers a call in a soft voice. The work is steady, and Elise is good at it. She has a way of making people feel calmer just by how she speaks. When a tired nurse asks a question, Elise answers without hurry. When a family member calls for an update, Elise listens carefully, then gently connects them to the right person. In the quiet space between calls, she takes a sip of tea. The steam warms her face, and for a moment, she thinks about something simple. She thinks about how the day after Christmas isn't really a beginning or an ending. It's a bridge, a soft return, a reminder that life keeps going and there can still be comfort in the middle of it. As the night continues, Nora's cinnamon rolls rise under their towel. The dough expands gently, slow and patient. Nora uncovers them and slides the pan into the oven. Soon, the bakery begins to smell warm. Cinnamon, butter, sugar melting into something soft and familiar. Nora brews a pot of coffee, not too strong, just enough to warm the room. Outside, the snow keeps falling. And as the first hint of morning approaches, the city begins to shift. Not abruptly, not all at once, just a gentle change, like a room brightening slowly when someone turns a lamp on low. Caleb's train makes another smooth stop. A few passengers step off. A few step on. The doors close with a soft sound. A man in a winter coat leans back and closes his eyes. A woman with a travel mug cradles it in both hands. A younger worker adjusts their headphones, then remembers it's early and turns the volume down. Even the passengers seem to understand something tonight. It's still winter. It's still quiet. There's still room to be gentle. At the hospital, Elise finishes a round of calls and updates. The nurses move softly down the hallway. A cart rolls by with squeaks that have been oiled and calmed over years. Elise straightens a small stack of papers on her desk, lines them up neatly, and feels that small satisfaction of order. She glances at the clock. A little later, the day shift will arrive. People will come in with fresh coffee. They'll shrug off their coats. They'll greet each other softly. And the day will carry on. Back at the bakery, Nora opens the oven and looks in. The cinnamon rolls are golden, not overly browned, just warm and perfect. The kind of color that makes a person feel safe. She pulls them out carefully and sets them on the counter. A little later, she mixes a simple glaze and drizzles it over the rolls. The glaze melts slightly from the heat, sliding into the curves. Nora watches it happen, and she feels her shoulders soften. There is something deeply calming about watching warmth behave the way it should. Steady, reliable, kind. She turns on the front lights. The bakery window glows into the snowy morning like a small lantern. And soon, the first customer arrives. Not a crowd, not a rush, just one person stepping inside, stamping snow from their boots gently and breathing in the cinnamon-sweet air. Nora smiles softly. "Morning," she says, quiet and warm. Later, Caleb finishes his run. He steps off the train and into a warmer room where the hum of machinery fades behind a door. His shoulders loosen. He takes a slow breath and decides to stop by the bakery before heading home. When he walks in, the warmth is immediate. The smell is comforting. Nora recognizes him, not as a close friend, but as a familiar face, someone who belongs to the same quiet city rhythm. Caleb orders coffee and a cinnamon roll. He doesn't eat it quickly. He holds the warm paper bag in his hands for a moment, letting the heat soak into his fingers, as if that alone is part of what he came for. Nora hands it to him and says, "Take your time." Caleb nods. He steps back out into the snow, and for a moment, he stands under the streetlight and watches the flakes fall. The day after Christmas is not magical in the way people talk about holidays, but it has its own kind of magic, the quiet kind. The kind you notice when you stop and breathe and let the world be gentle. When Elise's shift ends, the sky has lightened. Not bright, just soft. She gathers her things, wraps her scarf, and steps outside. The air is cold, clean, and calm. She walks carefully, not because she's afraid, but because winter deserves respect. At the corner, she sees the bakery window glowing. She smiles, because that light means something. It means warmth exists. It means the city is waking up gently. Elise steps inside, orders tea and a simple pastry. She thanks Nora in a soft voice. Nora nods, the way quiet workers nod to each other, recognizing the shared effort of keeping things steady. Elise sits for a moment. Not long. Just long enough to feel her body loosen. Then she heads home. And now, in the gentle unfolding of morning, these small lives move toward rest. Nora will clean the counter, wash her tools, and prepare for the next batch. Caleb will pull his coat off at home, wash his hands in warm water, and let his muscles relax. Elise will set her bag down, change into something soft, and climb into a bed that feels especially welcoming. Outside, Chicago continues to wake up slowly. Snow falls in a patient way, Traffic begins to stir. The city returns to routine, not harshly, but gently, like a slow, steady breath. And now, it's your turn to drift the rest of the way. You don't need to follow every word. You can let my voice become part of the background. Soft, distant, safe. Your breathing can slow naturally. Your shoulders can soften. Your jaw can relax. If a thought appears, you can let it pass, like a snowflake drifting through light. Nothing to solve, nothing to do, only rest. And as you sleep, your body restores itself calmly and reliably. Your mind grows quieter. Your whole system settles into the simple safety of the night. You are safe. You are supported. And you can sleep deeply now. I am safe, and I am calm. My body is warm and supported. With every breath out, I relax more deeply. My shoulders are soft. My hands are heavy. My mind can be quiet now. I let go of the day, and I welcome sleep. All is well, and I can sleep. And when the story ends, you don't have to do anything at all. Just let the music and gentle ambience continue as you drift deeper and deeper into sleep.